So today's free play is going to be on the ACC battle in Tallahassee between Notre Dame and Florida State. But first, guys, listen, I had my Google alert set today, and actually for the past few days, but I'm kind of surprised because I have not seen one single flash come through yet regarding the dilemma that I thought surely would have hit by now. And I'm talking, of course, about sports books going out of business. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Because we all heard the mainstream media talk about all the sports books that took an absolute beating on Sunday when after the first 6 playoff games all went to the home favorites, when the underdogs, the Packers and the Steelers, both cashed on Sunday. Those poor sports books, they took an absolute beating. They lost a fortune on Sunday, and on the heels of Clemson winning outright in the game going over on 2 Mondays ago against Alabama. They just took 2 horrific beatings in a 10-day period. Oh, please, again, the world's tiniest violin, the crocodile tears we are shedding. But again, my Google alerts have not shown me one single notification that any sportsbook in Vegas or offshore has closed up shop here in the 4 subsequent days. I just don't know what to make of this. I am sure all of you out there are just as upset as I am about this sudden turn of events. What has happened? Did they back up the Brinks truck and find a new reserve of gold bars and cash? You mean they managed to stay open? Did they win some more money from us? I don't know. I'm losing sleep over this, that sports books are still in business after taking such a horrific beating again on Sunday. God forbid if they should lose, 2 days out of 10? My God, they might lose 2 more days in the next 3 weeks? I just love when these stories come out. I just love it. It almost is like when you hear all the whiny gamblers come out. The whiny gamblers, and you know these guys. These are the guys who came out on Sunday night and you heard them say, oh yeah, you got to bet the dogs. You got to bet the dogs. You got to bet the dogs in the playoffs. Yeah, where were they the previous Saturday and Sunday? Where were they 24 hours earlier when those 6 straight favorites come in, right? Yeah, you got to bet the dogs. The dogs are the way to go. Yeah, 6-2 those favorites are. And you know what? It doesn't mean a damn thing as we go into the championship games this Sunday. Anyway, listen, let's talk a little basketball here tonight because I find this Notre Dame-Florida State game rather fascinating. I had handicapped the Florida State-North Carolina game on Saturday, and it was a game that I came real close at first considering pulling the trigger on Florida State because they were a 7.5-point underdog. But the more I thought about it, the reason I didn't pull the trigger on Florida State, thankfully, is because I was just concerned that Florida State didn't have the height to combat North Carolina, and it certainly hurt them. And they had their 12-game winning streak snapped with the loss in Chapel Hill, 96-83, a game in which they were out-rebounded on the offensive glass by 21. They were thoroughly out-rebounded in the game overall. But what really hurt them in that contest was the mental miscues and the sloppy floor play. Because if I had told you that they would go into Chapel Hill and hold a very good, very, very good offensive North Carolina team to just 42.5% shooting, a team that was shooting a little over 50% from the floor, a team that was averaging, I think, going into that game like 86 points a game. If I told you that they would hold them to 42.5% for the game, you would have thought that they would have a damn good chance of covering the spread, if not winning that game outright. But Florida State committed 15 turnovers. They were 12 for 26 from the free throw line, so they gave away points as well. And again, they were hammered on the boards. But this is a team that, I'm talking Florida State, beat Duke, beat Virginia Tech in its last 2 home games. But there has to be an asterisk there involved in both of those wins because Virginia Tech, they beat Virginia Tech when Virginia Tech's point guard, Seth Allen, was not playing. They beat Duke when Grayson Allen was not playing. Now, the Irish are coming off road wins at Miami of Florida by Virginia Tech, both winning those games by 5 points each. 5-0 start in ACC play. They beat Clemson and Louisville in their prior 2 games, both at home, and they opened with a win at Pittsburgh. 4 of those 5 games all going down to the final minutes, and they have been a great closer Notre Dame has. But you got a Florida State team that going back to last season has won 15 straight games in Tallahassee. But you knew there had to be a but, right? Notre Dame in its last 2 games has stopped Miami of Florida's 21-game home winning streak. It has snapped Virginia Tech's 15-game home winning streak. Can they do it again tonight? I don't think so. Listen, I look at what Florida State has done this season. Sure, it lost to North Carolina, but this has just been a murderer's row for Florida State. This is a stretch where it is played, a stretch of games where it is playing 6 straight ranked opponents. It's beaten Minnesota, it's beaten Florida, it's beaten Virginia, it's beaten Virginia Tech, it's beaten Duke. This is also a game where Florida State has an advantage over Notre Dame because the Irish does not, really, is the way you should say. The Irish does not. We'll debate it later. Bottom line is Notre Dame does not have Florida State's depth in terms of bench strength and rotation depth, nor does Notre Dame have Florida State's length in terms of size. Florida State has 7 guys over 6'7". Florida State has 11 guys that are averaging at least 10 minutes a game. This is a deep, deep team. This is a damn good shooting team. 86.65 points a game on 50.5% shooting. Notre Dame, good shooting team as well, 81 points a game. Dwayne Bacon, who many thought would go pro last year, came back. The 6'7 sophomore guard leading the team with 17.8 points. But they also have a 6'10 freshman center forward, Jonathan Isaac, who's averaging a little over 12.5 points and 7.5 rebounds. He had a nice game against North Carolina in Chapel Hill, 17 points, 12 rebounds, a couple of blocks in that game. It's a 5.5 to 6 point line. I like Florida State in this contest tonight to snap Notre Dame's winning streak and hand the Irish their first loss in 6 conference games this season. Notre Dame simply has been living on the edge. What is that, an awful John Bon Jovi song from years? Oh, I hate John Bon Jovi. Anyway, I'm going to go with Florida State in this one. Your other complimentary play tonight, I'm going to go with the Washington Wizards. Minus the 2 points at home. Listen, Wizards are playing some great ball. 12 straight games at home. I don't know how Scott Brooks has cobbled together a lineup that has been productive, because a month and a half ago, you look at that team and you see the parts that he had to work with, especially with that bench. But somehow the second unit has been productive. And certainly when Bradley Beal and John Wall are healthy, you certainly are averaging 45 to 50 points a night from your bench. You're taking on a Memphis Grizzlies team that you never know what you're going to get one night for another. And the defense has not been consistent at late for Memphis, and that really is the Grizzlies' calling card. And this is a revenge game because in late October, Washington in Memphis had a commanding lead, and the Grizzlies fought back, tied it late in the contest, forced overtime, eventually won that game. So it's revenge rematch situation for Washington in this particular contest. You got a Grizzlies team that was playing an underwhelming, undermanned, injury-riddled Chicago's Bull team on Sunday night, and they managed to lose that game by 4 points at home. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games. They're only one game over 500 on the road this season, and yet this is a 2-point line, right? Washington is a 2-point favorite at home where they've won 12 straight games. They just hammered Portland at home on Monday. Hey, listen, not that the Trailblazers are any good either way, but you beat Portland by 19 points at home, and Wall and Beal combined for 49 points in that contest. So I'm more than willing to lay the 2 points with Washington in that one as well. So the Wizards and Florida State are your 2 complimentary plays for today's card. Of the 2, I do like Florida State more. But again, those are your 2 complimentary plays. I wish you well, guys, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Can't promise you I'll be doing the video report. Only reason I'm doing one today is I just got back to the doctors and I figured, what the hell, if I'm in pain and I'm already on my feet, I might as well sit here and put on a tie and a jacket and do the damn video. Good luck, everybody, and I'll talk to you again soon. Take it easy.